They didn't record it. But thank God, you know, the therapist discussed it with the kids, and the kids told the same story that I told. And, you know, my attorney and Teresa both advocated to the amicus that, once again, Laura, your information is inaccurate.
Because you're getting it from
And,
mom.
and we had that. I could give you another example. My very first visit at ABC, I went to the wrong building. So ABC has their business office, and then they have the facility that they rent
Right.
for that weekend to do the visits.
Yeah.
I was 3 minutes late. So you're supposed to be there by 7:45 a.m. on the dot or before, and then the kids are supposed to be there at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm 3 minutes late. They text me, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in the parking lot unloading. They fine me $75. Hey, the rules are crystal clear. You're there on time, or you get fined, or they could refuse. But because it was my first visit, what they said, because it was my first visit, they were going to cut me some slack. Fine.
No,
Well,
that's so sweet.
I
Thanks.
know.
right? So I do order pizza, and I do have my wagon of stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
But Kayla didn't see it. So instead of asking me
Or
or
checking.
contacting me, she wrote a report that said that I didn't have those things. Now, we got it in writing that they corrected that report. I was aware of it. The attorneys were aware of it. Teresa Burbank was aware of it. But most importantly, Laura Watson knew. And during trial, she tried to present that very first, knowingly, on purpose, misrepresent fraud on the court and say, well, isn't it true that you didn't even bring activities and you didn't order food for these kids? And I'm thinking, no, it's not true. And so Nick has to clean it up. And that's what this has always been about. I mean, hell, when my son said he didn't want to live anymore, and mom tried to say he wanted to go get a gun, and Teresa confirmed that none of that was true, and that came directly from my son. He has to go to Texas Children's, and Teresa Burbank and the amicus were crystal clear that you two don't communicate. You both go there. You're there for your son, and I'd be damned if I wasn't there 30 minutes. And mom tried to have me kicked out of that hospital, but we caught her, right? So the nurse that was on staff that was with us, her name was Pam. She pulled me aside and she said, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." I'm like, "Okay." I had no clue, because I'm under the impression everything's all good, right? Because the amicus and Teresa Burbank were adamant that you're there for Liam. It's not about anything else. Put your differences aside. She pulls me aside into a room, and she's like, mom's saying that you can't be here. You don't have a right to be here, and asking us to remove you. And I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Well, I understand that you're doing your job." And she was super sweet. I said, "But would you be so kind to allow me to at least show you some messages from the amicus and the therapist, and potentially get them on the phone?" And she said, "Yes, because I don't want to kick you out. Your son needs you here." So we do that, and Teresa and Pam spoke, and ironically, none of that was brought up. Ironically, when mom withheld medications from me, was never brought up.
When it was our visit, when they were going to
By
stay
the
at our
amicus,
house.
right? The amicus knowingly, she knew that mom went and baptized the children on
Yes.
purpose without me, but never brought it
Brought
it up.
Didn't even ask him or tell him so we could come.
The
She
amicus,
did it, and then later was like, "Oh, I have some pictures for you."
The amicus was fully well aware that mom intentionally puts wrong dates and times for extracurricular activities in the app. Never brought it up once. The amicus knew that what was in mom's affidavit, saying that Teresa Burbank encouraged her to file this modification. Teresa Burbank testified that that wasn't true, which the testimony really kind of null and voided her affidavit, her sworn affidavit in it, which is perjury, right? And none of that mattered. So, the amicus tried to present that, I think in cross-examination, and would it surprise you, Mr. Razor? I think it was a direct question. Would it surprise you that I don't have to do home visits? I'm like, well, yeah, that would surprise me. You're an amicus. I mean,
Right.
that's
If you're so
to
concerned,
me that's
Right.
that's
If you're
amicus
advocating
101.
for my
You know,
child, then I'd like you to know some things and at least see my, duh.
yeah.
right?
Right.
You know, Rebecca Smith, aggravated perjury. I mean, geez Louise, like she submitted false documents, you know, and claimed that she had other reports
Coming.
during cross-examination.
Never happened.
So, you know, we're pursuing that. I mean, I think that that's one of the linchpins in their case is Rebecca Smith, because she went a little overboard
With her testimony.
with testimony to kind of paint herself in a corner. And you know, the amicus is well aware of all these things. I mean, hell, how do you not know that a peer board member is who revoked visitation is help picking jurors for opposing counsel? That in and of itself should be an automatic retrial.
Yeah.
So,
So I hate to sound like a therapist here, but considering all this stuff, how does that make you feel? I mean, you have to feel like you're not in control of,
100%.
well,
Speak a little bit about that.
yeah. So you know, like I said, I have ADHD, so I can be reactive. I have very much learned temperance and patience throughout this process, because as much as I want to jump up and beat on a table and call people liars, and that's not true, I have made peace with the fact that that's not going to happen, and I'm not going to be able to be afforded that opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So, you know, how does it make me feel? I mean, for a long time, it made me feel hopeless, you know, but I know that this won't be going on forever. And I believe that, you know, there's a saying that God doesn't give you things that you can't handle. And I look at my case and I see it from a perspective that sometimes God gives you things only you can handle,
Yeah.
you know, and my kids are strong. They're strong. They're my kids.
They are
They're
strong.
part of me.
They are
They're
strong, but I will tell you, the last time I saw Lily, she's breaking.
They look.
She does not look like that same bubbly little girl
Yeah.
that I know. It
You
scared me,
You gotta-
honestly.
My kids,
She's gonna grow
my
up really
children,
fast.
my children adore me. They trust. I was the only one that they trusted. Yeah, you know, there's been times where my son he's voiced to Teresa like, hey, I don't want to talk to you because everything I tell you, I get punished for at Mom's house. You know, so there were some issues there with you know, Teresa.